Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If she lets you see the part of her that feels unfinished, the quiet cracks she hides from the world, your stomach tightens for a reason. That unease you feel right now is not fear, it is recognition. Something has already shifted. Before we go deeper, take a second and subscribe to this channel and like this video. It tells the algorithm this work matters, and it tells me you're ready to hear the truth. I'm speaking to you as a psychologist, but also as a woman who knows what it costs to let a man see this side. When a woman allows you into the rooms she never cleans for guests, love has already begun moving. Women are taught to be composed, desirable, manageable. What you rarely see is the unscripted self that doubts, overthinks, and softens in the dark. When she shows you that, she is not testing you, she is trusting you. Men often believe love starts with attraction or consistency. That's surface level. Love begins when safety replaces performance, when she stops curating her words and starts speaking in half-formed thoughts, when silence doesn't scare her because she believes you won't leave if she's not impressive. This is the moment most men misunderstand and accidentally break something sacred. She may seem less polished, more emotional, even confusing. Your instinct might be to fix, correct, or pull back. But understand this. Her vulnerability is not a problem to solve. It is an invitation to stay. When she talks about her fears without wrapping them in jokes, she is asking one question without saying it out loud. Will you still see me as worthy when I'm not strong? This is where love separates itself from desire. Desire wants the best version. Love accepts the real one. If she lets you see her disappointment, her insecurity, her moments of self-doubt, she is already emotionally invested. She has crossed an internal line that most women never cross lightly. Your response in this phase will define everything. If you listen without judgment, if you don't rush her emotions or minimize them, her attachment deepens. She will feel bonded, not because you impressed her, but because you protected her openness. Love doesn't start with fireworks. It starts with permission. And if she has given you that, something real has already begun. Right, you are standing inside it. When she lets you see her uncertainty, she is revealing the place where she has been hurt before. Most men don't realize this, but a woman's hesitation is not weakness, it is memory. It is the echo of moments where she trusted too early, gave too much, or stayed too long. When she allows you into that space, she is silently measuring your emotional maturity. She may tell you stories she never tells anyone else, not dramatic ones, quiet ones. Moments where she felt unseen, times she doubted her worth, relationships where she gave more than she received. This is not emotional dumping. This is calibration. She is watching how you respond when the mask is off. Do you lean in, or do you grow distant? Do you listen, or do you defend men you've never met? Understand this clearly. When a woman opens this door, she is no longer evaluating you as a potential option. She is evaluating you as a potential emotional home. That is a very different standard. At this stage, attraction is no longer the deciding factor. Safety is. Many men make the mistake of trying to appear unshaken. They think strength means emotional distance. But strength here is presence. It is the ability to stay steady while she exposes fragility. When you don't rush her feelings or try to outsmart them, she relaxes. And when a woman relaxes emotionally, her attachment grows naturally. You might notice her tone change. She may speak more softly, or hesitate before finishing a sentence. That hesitation is vulnerability in motion. She is checking if it is safe to land. If you interrupt, dismiss, or turn it into a joke, she pulls back internally, not dramatically, quietly. And once that happens, the door rarely opens again. When she allows you to see her doubts, she is giving you power. Not power over her, but power to protect what she has offered. This is why love often starts silently. There is no announcement, no clear signal, just a gradual deepening of emotional exposure. At this point, love has already moved beneath the surface. The bond is forming in the nervous system, not the mind. She begins to associate calm with you. Relief, emotional rest, that is not accidental. If you ever wondered why some men are deeply loved without trying so hard, this is why. They didn't perform. They stayed. They didn't demand strength. They respected vulnerability. And once a woman feels emotionally held, she doesn't forget it, even if everything else changes. That feeling becomes the reference point. That is how love quietly takes root. When she starts revealing the parts of herself she normally keeps controlled, you are no longer dealing with surface attraction. You are inside her emotional reality. This is where many men feel confused, because the dynamic changes. She may become more sensitive to your tone, more aware of your absence, less playful, more real. That shift is not loss of interest. It is emotional investment turning serious. A woman in this phase is no longer asking, "Do you like me?" She is asking, "Are you emotionally safe for me to attach to?" That question runs quietly, in the background of every interaction, and your smallest behaviors now carry weight. Delayed replies, distracted listening, casual dismissiveness. Things that once meant nothing now speak loudly. Men often believe love grows through intensity. But for women, love grows through consistency in emotional presence. When she shows you her raw side, she is testing whether you can handle intimacy without control. Can you stay kind when she is not at her best? Can you stay grounded when she is uncertain? This is where many men sabotage connection by pulling back. The vulnerability feels heavy, and distance feels easier. But distance confirms her deepest fear, that being real costs her connection. If she senses that, she doesn't confront you. She adapts. She becomes quieter, more self-contained, and the emotional closeness slowly fades. When she lets you see her emotional fluctuations, she is not asking you to fix them. She is watching whether you accept them. Acceptance communicates safety more than solutions ever could. The man who listens without panic becomes the man she bonds to deeply. You may notice she starts seeking your opinion on personal things. Not because she needs permission, but because your perspective matters now. She is integrating you into her internal decision-making. That is attachment forming in real time. At this stage, love is not dramatic. It is subtle. It is the way she relaxes after talking to you, the way she remembers small details, the way she checks in without a reason. These are not habits. They are signals of emotional anchoring. If you remain emotionally steady here, she begins to trust the future version of you. She imagines consistency, reliability, emotional shelter. That imagination is powerful. It creates a bond that feels natural, not forced. Love doesn't announce itself. It grows in moments like these, when a woman decides, quietly, that being herself around you feels safer than pretending. When she laughs at something only half funny, or hesitates before sharing a story, that hesitation is permission for you to see her imperfect, unpolished self. Most men don't notice it. They hear the words but miss the weight behind them. She's silently asking, "Will you still like me if I'm not entertaining, if I'm not composed, if I'm not performing for you?" The moment she lets her guard down, even slightly, is monumental, because women are trained to hide their mess, to be tidy, put together, strong, and appealing at all times. But when she chooses to show you her unsorted thoughts, the small doubts, the quiet insecurities, she is signaling that you are different, that you are someone she could risk trust with. That is not casual. That is already love in action. Notice how she may start to mirror your behavior. If you share openly, she shares openly. If you stay calm, she stays calm. Women are wired to match emotional safety. This is why your reactions here are critical. Panic, judgment, or impatience erodes connection. Steadiness, attentiveness, and quiet validation deepen it. Every small interaction either cements trust or chips at it. She may begin to ask more personal questions, not because she doubts you, but because she is including you in her inner world. She is testing the waters of shared intimacy, and if you respond with patience and understanding, she begins to anchor to you emotionally. That anchoring is subtle, but irreversible if handled correctly. Understand this. She is not yet in full love. She is in the gateway, and this gateway is delicate. One careless remark can cause her to retreat. One consistent moment of emotional safety can make her feel profoundly seen. She has never done this lightly. Every story, every confession, every quiet glance is measured against a lifetime of caution. Love begins quietly in these spaces, not with grand gestures, not with fireworks or declarations, but with the slow erosion of walls, the deliberate unveiling of fears and flaws, the willingness to let someone witness the internal struggle without judgment. She is showing you what others rarely get to see. If you treat this moment with reverence, If you meet vulnerability with calm steadiness, she begins to associate you with emotional sanctuary. This is the invisible architecture of love, unseen by the casual observer, but deeply felt by her. You are no longer just a presence in her life. You are becoming a safe harbor, and here's the truth most men miss. Once she has crossed this threshold with you, once she has allowed herself to be imperfect in your presence, something irreversible has already started. Love is quietly rooting itself in spaces where most men never notice. When she starts sharing her fears, the tiny ones that whisper at night when no one is watching, that is the clearest sign she's letting you in. Most men mistake these admissions for weakness. They think vulnerability is a burden, but in reality, it is the single most intimate gift she can give. When a woman reveals what she usually keeps locked inside, she is not testing you, she is trusting you. Notice how she may pause mid-sentence, choosing her words carefully. That pause is a heartbeat of trust. She is allowing you to witness her unfiltered self, the doubts about her worth, the insecurities she hides behind laughter, the moments of self-questioning she doesn't admit to anyone else. This is sacred space, and she is inviting you into it. At this stage, she is watching your reactions more than your words. If you respond with judgment, defensiveness, or distraction, the door she just opened closes almost immediately. But if you respond with patience, acknowledgement, and quiet understanding, she begins to feel the rarest emotion, true emotional safety. This is the moment attachment begins. Not attraction, not infatuation, attachment. You may notice her behavior subtly changing. She might share more personal details, linger longer in conversation, or check in without a reason. These are not coincidences. They are indicators that she is testing the waters of emotional connection, seeing if you are steady enough to hold the weight of her real self. Many men fail here because they think love is about charm or proving themselves. They try to impress, to perform, to solve. But that is not what she needs. She needs presence. She needs calm. She needs someone who can listen without rushing to fix, without making it about them. That is what builds trust. That is what builds real love. Understand this clearly. Her openness is not casual. Women rarely give this freely. She has likely spent years refining walls, masks, and self-protection. Allowing them to fall in front of you means she sees potential permanence. That is far beyond simple attraction. This is why the way you handle these moments defines your place in her heart. Stay grounded, stay patient, reflect the respect she is showing you. When done right, you become more than a partner, you become a safe place. And once she sees you as safe, love doesn't need to be declared. It grows quietly, powerfully, and irrevocably. If she's showing you this side of herself, it's not just a flirtation, it's not a fleeting interest. Something has already begun deep inside her heart, and it will only grow if you remain steady. When she begins to show you her contradictions, the parts that don't fit neatly into who she should be, you are witnessing a very rare form of intimacy. She may express frustration one moment, vulnerability the next, laughter in between, as if testing whether you can hold the full spectrum of her. Most men get confused here. They think inconsistency is a warning. In truth, it is proof of trust. She trusts you enough to be messy, to be human, to be unpolished. Notice the subtle ways she signals this trust. She may share a past mistake that still hurts her, reveal a dream she doubts she can achieve, or confess a fear she rarely admits aloud. Each of these moments is like handing you a key to a room she keeps locked for everyone else. And she doesn't hand this key lightly. She observes carefully how you treat it. Do you mock it? Do you dismiss it? Or do you honor it, handle it gently, and show her that being herself around you is safe? At this stage, love is no longer theoretical. It is physiological. Her nervous system begins to relax in your presence. She experiences relief, calm, and a subtle joy she doesn't show anyone else. She starts associating your presence with emotional safety, with refuge, with steadiness. That association is the invisible glue that forms lasting attachment. Men often misunderstand this. They assume love requires grand declarations or constant excitement. But for women, the deepest connection grows in quiet spaces, spaces of trust, spaces of emotional authenticity, spaces where she can be entirely herself without fear of rejection. She is revealing those spaces to you, piece by piece. Each time she does, her emotional stake in the relationship grows stronger. You may also notice her becoming more attuned to your emotional state. She mirrors your calm or reacts to your tension because she is measuring your consistency. She is observing whether your emotional presence can match hers, whether you can be a steady anchor in the moments when the world seems overwhelming. If you honor this, if you continue to meet her authenticity with steady acceptance, you are no longer just a man she likes. You become someone she can rely on. She starts to imagine a future where her vulnerabilities are safe with you. That mental rehearsal is how attachment deepens. The truth most men miss. When she allows you to see these hidden layers, love has already started. It is quiet, subtle, and irreversible if handled with care. Every interaction now has weight. Every response matters, and your steadiness will determine whether she closes that door or welcomes you further into her heart. When she starts sharing the parts of herself that feel too much, too emotional, too sensitive, too intense, you are standing at a rare threshold. Most men instinctively pull back here. They feel the weight of her rawness and confuse it with neediness. But here's the truth. She is not testing you. She is revealing the version of herself she trusts won't be rejected. This is the point where love is no longer superficial. It's rooted in courage and mutual vulnerability. Notice how she may look for subtle signs in your reactions. A soft word, a patient tone, a steady gaze. These are what she craves. She is measuring whether your presence can hold her without judgment. Every man experiences this moment differently. Some panic and offer solutions instead of listening. Some distance themselves to protect their ego. Few realize that staying present, listening without interruption, and validating her emotions is the most powerful gesture of intimacy you can offer. Her too much moments are actually invitations. Invitations to prove, not your strength, but your emotional availability. This is where emotional consistency becomes more compelling than charm or grand gestures. She is observing whether you respond with patience, understanding, and empathy. This is where emotional security is tested. When you pass this unspoken test, she begins to attach deeply. You may notice her starting to rely on you in subtle ways, sharing opinions she wouldn't normally voice, asking for guidance on personal decisions, or revealing little habits and quirks she hides from the world. She doesn't do this lightly. Each revelation is an act of trust, a silent declaration that she sees you as someone who can hold the real, unfiltered her. Love at this stage is quiet, yet powerful. It doesn't announce itself with fireworks. It announces itself in her willingness to be seen without a mask. She is not asking for perfection. She is asking for presence. She is offering herself fully, piece by piece, to see if you will meet her with the same authenticity. Every time she opens up like this, she is mentally and emotionally rehearsing a future with you. She imagines you as her safe space, her anchor, her confidant. That internal rehearsal strengthens attachment faster than words ever could. If you honor this, if you meet her vulnerability with calm steadiness, you are no longer just part of her life, you become central to it. This is when love quietly roots itself, and the deeper the root, the harder it is to pull away. She has already started to feel something powerful, irreversible, and profoundly real when she finally stops holding back entirely, when she shares the messy thoughts she's ashamed of, the dreams she's afraid to chase, the insecurities she hides even from herself. You are witnessing a turning point few men ever reach. This is the side she almost never shows, the one that feels raw, exposed, and fragile. If she is showing this to you, understand, love has already begun. You are no longer on the outside looking in. You are inside her world. At this stage, your presence becomes more than companionship. It becomes a mirror for her emotional life. She watches how you respond when she is unfiltered. Do you shrink, withdraw, or judge? Or do you stay steady, listening without distraction, offering quiet acknowledgement instead of solutions? Your reactions now are not just behavior. They are signals that determine how deeply she can feel for you. You might notice small but powerful signs. She remembers your preferences. She asks questions about your feelings. She adjusts her behavior to maintain harmony. She trusts your opinion on things she has never shared with anyone. These are not casual gestures. They are proof that attachment has taken root. She begins to tie her emotional safety, comfort, and joy to your presence. That bond is stronger than attraction, stronger than infatuation. This is the difference between being liked and being loved. She has already begun imagining a future with you. not because you entertained her, or impressed her, or swept her off her feet, but because you created a space where she can be fully herself without fear. That space is rare. That space is precious. That space is where true love grows. Remember, love is quiet. It grows in the small acts of presence, the moments when she allows herself to be vulnerable, and you meet her with steady understanding. She isn't announcing it. She is showing it in subtle ways that accumulate over time. Every gesture, every conversation, every pause where she lets herself be seen, it adds up. It builds a foundation stronger than any grand gesture ever could. If you continue to honor her vulnerability, if you continue to hold space for her imperfect human self, she will attach to you deeply, not because you are flawless, but because you are reliable, not because you are exciting, but because you are steady, not because you are perfect, but because you make her feel safe. So understand this clearly. If she has shown you this side of herself, love has already started. It is quiet, it is deep, and it is unstoppable if you continue to meet her vulnerability with patience, respect, and presence. You are no longer just a part of her life. You have become a part of her heart.